Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today here I'm going to be talking about a little topic I had on my head. One of those random topics I want to talk about, and that is me discussing and talking about the difficulty and how basically the modern Resident Evil games difficulty settings are awful, and they do pretty much a lazy difficulty design. And I'll tell you why. I wouldn't say all RE Engine or all the Resident Evil RE Engine games are all crappy, like they have like shitty difficulty design. I think Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 and somewhat Resident Evil 3 all have very good balanced difficulty design, because you have 3 difficulty. I mean, especially like in Resident Evil 7 and 2, you see some differences in the difficulty, and they felt like was legit. And I'm talking about from the main game perspective, they felt legit. Compare that to Resident Evil like 4 and Village. Both of them, I guarantee that both these games, the difficulty design is the exact same. There's nothing different. There's no difference. It's just exactly identical difficulty design, which is lazy and terrible. There's no sense of like challenge to it. I felt like it was unbalanced challenge. It's just like there to just say, hey, just to make use of very superpower, like very strong weapons. It's fucking awful. It's terrible. It's garbage. And when you play the game, normally you play you on the highest difficulty. It tests you, but majority of like Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4 Remake, which is basically Village of Shadows and Professional mode, like personally, like prospectively, are so bad. They're so horrible that it's the thing they have in common is just make everything very like this to the max. Just like bump everything to max and let them kill you easily in a few hits. That's it. And with Resident Evil 4 Remake, I tend to play the game on hardcore all the time, whether it's like just like even like as a regular playthrough. I play Resident Evil 4 Remake on a monthly basis, which is definitely the best thing I can make things like play the game consistent in some way, but try not to play it like in a weekly basis or consistently like every single day, because I guarantee you that I'll be getting bored as hell. But it's very bad. It's very bad, poorly designed. I could kind of see as well from Resident Evil 5, the original, professional mode was so poor designed that it just sucked. It's just basically permadeath mode in some ways, kind of like permadeath mode, but it's not really. You just take one shot, you go to the danger status, and then you basically have like 3 seconds to re-heal or you just die. And it makes like boss fights against Jill and El Gigante are the 2 hardest boss fights in professional, because with Jill, the thing is she's unpredictable as hell. She is unpredictable. When she does the monkey flip move, you're basically, and that's an instant death. That's instant kill immediately. Because once you hit the floor and you get back up, because the animation if you're getting back up, once you get back up, which takes me about like 3 seconds, you're basically already dead. So whatever, even if you're fast enough, even if you're right next to them, you're dead. So it's pretty bad. And with Resident Evil 4 Remake, they tend to say, hey, do a perfect parry. Which, to practice parrying in Resident Evil 4 Remake might take it's all about timing. If you know the timing, you can literally just be good at it, and it won't be a big of a problem. But to me, as a casual player, and I'm playing basically on and off, I think it's unbalanced, because enemies are hella spongy. They're just bullet sponges. It's like bullet sponges, and they basically take so many shots. Even when the weapon that I have is fully upgraded and has like the exclusive, does not kill the enemy in like more. It takes like 4 shots to kill an enemy, unless if you do a point blank shot for the shotgun, for example, or something like that. it's just awful, and it's just completely stupid, and just the difficulty curve between hardcore professional and Resident Evil 4 Remake is so bad, it's awful. So is Village, because in Village I have never played hardcore. I went straight into Village of Shadows because I have enough money to get the infinite Magnum and Grenade combo, because honestly I can't be bothered playing the game legitimately on Village of Shadows, because I know they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna make everything, increase everything, which is freaking boring. That's why I play Resident Evil 4 Remake on hardcore. I think it's much better, and I think it's like the real challenging difficulty. Like once you beat it, you feel like you're basically good at the game. And S plussing on professional is a pain in the ass. I've guaranteed that the majority of the people, when they try to get an S plus rank, majority of them will use either special weapons and special enhancements like the chicken hat. That's why the chicken hat is the most useful unlockable. You get it for S plus on hardcore. It's there to it's designed for professional, because they know when they give you an item to reduce its damage, like a reduce permanent damage, basically is like a permanent armor in some way. They know that they are poorly designing professional mode. It's so poor. Let's go back to the original Resident Evil 4. Compared to the original, we got normal mode, right? So we have normal mode, which is basically has something called adaptive difficulty. If you're good at the game and not die a lot, the enemies become more aggressive, and depending on your playstyle. I don't think Resident Evil 4 has that adaptive difficulty. I'm not sure if it has. I don't think it has at all, because they're just like, they just lazily designed the game. And then basically the enemies will become more aggressive. If you are good at the game, the enemies become more aggressive. There's less drops, a lot of less healing item drops, and you take a little bit more damage. If you die a bunch of times and you continuously dying, enemies become weaker, they become less aggressive, and it's better. And then go to professional mode, which basically the enemies are basically aggressive, and basically how you play the game on. If you basically never die on normal mode, it's like that, but it's its own difficulty. And like everything else stays the same, like the pricing of the weapons are still the same, all that kind of stuff. The only thing that's interesting about Resident Evil 4 Remake is they doubled the pricing of most of the items. So it makes you think about what weapons should you buy and what weapons should you avoid buying. And thank God the upgrades are basically at their base price and never got up. So that's good. So it makes you kind of think a little bit. But yeah, now with Resident Evil 4, the original, it's fair, and it's fun. The other game, it's unfair, and it's ridiculous, to the point that people legit just get to Chicago Sweeper at the castle section, which I believe the castle section on professional is a fucking nightmare, because the zealots, for some reason, they do not die, or basically have extremely high chance of spawning a parasite after you dump all your bullets. The goddamn parasite pops out when you basically run out of all the ammo, because the freaking villagers are easy to kill. They're not that difficult, but once you hit the freaking castle section, it's such a pain in the ass to deal with. It's just me, I guess. It's just me. It's such lazy, like, difficult design. I don't know why they just tend to be super lazy with it. I just don't get it. It's just, I like when a video game says, hey, let's have different weapons. Look at Resident Evil 3 Remake. This game has multiple difficulties. There's a reason for it, because the game is so short. Because if you have 3 difficulties, the replay value will be basically useless. So even with getting unlockable weapons and everything. But they have different difficulties, and how Nightmare difficulty literally changed the game completely. It made the game a bit scarier and make it stingy. It's much better. Why not have a difficulty like that in Resident Evil 4? It have randomized weapons, randomized loot, randomized stuff. It would be very interesting to have something like that, you know? Or have something called nightmare difficulty, which is a nightmare mod is pretty cool. I wish that something like this actually is in the console version of the game. Actually, would be a lot more interesting to add that. I mean, they can add more content because we haven't had any form of content for Resident Evil 4 Remake. The last one we got was Mercenaries, and that's all the way back almost 5 months ago. So almost like half a year ago almost now. So it's been half a year. So I'm really like I want to say this. Like, I really like come on here and say that the goddamn difficult design in that game, it is awful. It's god awful. It's terrible. They should definitely learn just to have a nice difficulty balance. They need to rebalance it because Jesus Christ, like the difficulty balance between those games are god awful. It's the worst. It's genuinely the worst thing I've ever seen. Good God, it's freaking awful. So yeah, that's all I have to say. What do you think about the difficulty? Do you think difficulty is fair and it's good and you can deal with it? Or 2, it's garbage, it's like me, it's garbage, it's shitty, and they need to rebalance. And before I leave, people say, good the game, oh my god, play the game consistently, all that kind of stuff. Like, most of it is like, okay, so I personally play other games, and you're the only one who plays Resident Evil 4 on a daily basis and never get bored of it. I was like, and you probably play the game on lower difficulty. So I guarantee that some people don't even heck, some people can play a game professional consistently. That's gonna take a while. That's gonna take a while of practice. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that straight up. So yeah, that's basically it. What I had to say. And yeah, that's all I had to say. I had to get it out of my chest. And yeah, that's the end of the video. If you like the video, please subscribe. Tell me what you think. We're getting close to 300 subscribers right now. So yeah, that's the end, and take care.